And Larson.
And, you got the intro.
Oh, yeah, welcome to Going in Raw Countdown, the only countdown show you'll find right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson. And wherever fine podcasts are found, including CastBox. Got a great partnership with CastBox. Please do check it out.
Yes.
We're also on the Patreon. You know how Patreon works.
Mm-hmm, yeah, sure.
No need to really explain that in further detail. Everybody knows how that works.
Time-honored tradition of commerce. Exchange goods and services for currency.
Exactly. We're also at Pro Wrestling Tees. ProWrestlingTees.com/GoingInRaw.
I got this one from Vans. They are not on Pro Wrestling Tees.
This is from Pro Wrestling Tees. However, not from our store.
We do not, sadly, sell Rainmaker merchandise. It'd be a license to print money.
Okada dollars.
Okada dollars. That's right. Speaking of Okada, of course, last weekend saw New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion event where Kazuchika Okada lost his IWGP heavyweight title to Kenny Omega in a classic matchup.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Dominion, best top to bottom show of the year so far, yes or no?
Oh, in all of wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. I haven't really thought about that. Mm-hmm. But maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we were able to stay up from like 11 at night until
midnight to 4:30.
Yeah. And be totally fine.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was a 4.5 hour show.
I mean, it's. I'll put it this way: it's either Dominion or Backlash, one of the two. Anyways, so of course, after one of these amazing New Japan shows, the Twitter wrestling sphere always starts kicking up. Yeah, you should, screw WWE. You should be watching New Japan, and then WWE fans are like, no, screw you, WWE. And so, of course, obviously, we don't want to play into that kind of controversy. Psych, we do. So, of course, this is our list right here of the 10 ways, the 10 reasons New Japan Pro Wrestling is better than the WWE. Spoiler alert, we also have another video that went up at the exact same time this did, the top 10 ways the WWE is better than New Japan, because they're kind of, they have their pros and cons.
They're pros and cons.
They're different things.
Yes, they are.
Exactly. So let's get right into this. This, however, is celebrating why New Japan is better than WWE. Number 10. Talent exchanges.
This is something WWE's just started to do somewhat. For example, Walter, pictured here, is challenging Adam Cole for the NXT title at the Evolve show coming up. But New Japan has a long history of working with other promotions, bringing in talents from other promotions, especially in the recent history, more so than WWE does.
Yeah,
it's just kind of a recent thing
for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, they did some co-promoted shows. WWE did, I believe, with New Japan and also with All Japan back in the 80s and early 90s.
They had like their NWA and Invasion in the late 90s, but it's not like it hasn't been like an ongoing thing.
No, definitely not recently.
They have been much more guarded with how they use their talent. Once you're in the WWE fold, you do not stray.
Yeah, I mean, you're exclusive to WWE unless they give you permission to go elsewhere. New Japan, they'll send their talents to other promotions. I mean, wasn't it just Naito was wrestling at some promotions in the Midwest?
Yeah,
late last year.
Michael
I think
Elgin set that up. Yeah.
And then also other promotions will send their talent. Of course, I mean, obviously New Japan with the Young Lions program. Part of that is you got to go on excursion.
Yeah.
But also, other promotions will send their talent. Jeff Cobb is wrestling on the next few shows.
Very exciting.
Coming up.
It illustrates also. And I don't think because look, a lot can be said for WWE these days, for WWE's developmental system as well. So it's kind of, I guess you can call that a wash, maybe. But there is definitely something to be said for the way New Japan handles their young lions. You have to go through a talent exchange process for you to come back. The excursion, like you said, you have to do that. They recognize the importance of honing your craft in other places,
and learning other ways to wrestle.
That's one of the things that Chris Jericho in his WWE DVD documentary illustrated so perfectly. They would do a cheesy little map where Jericho, when he was talking about the different specific skills he learned in each territory he went to in the States and Canada and Japan and all over the place. He says, I learned to do promos here. I learned to work strong style here. I learned to do this here. And so that was a great, and New Japan really embraces that. and that's why they churn out some of the top tier talent.
Yes.
In the world, talent exchanges.
In the world.
So yeah, great stuff. Because you never know. Like you never know what talent exchange is going to happen next.
Yeah.
Could be Impact New Japan. It could be Virgil Flynn III Productions New Japan.
Could be.
Number 9.
9.
Easier schedule.
Not to say that their schedule is easy.
No.
But based on how New Japan operates, wrestlers tend to wrestle fewer singles matches.
Yeah.
It's not even close in terms of the number of singles matches, like a top tier New Japan star wrestle versus a top tier WWE star. I mean, was it Jinder had the most matches last year? He was in 180 something matches last year. And I think Okada was in the low 100s, but of that, only about 16 of them were singles matches.
Oh, it's
if
really
that many,
that low, huh?
Yeah, super low.
Wow.
And so it keeps the wear and tear from taking a toll on the performer's body.
Yeah.
In WWE, I feel like, could be wrong, I haven't done an analysis of it, there's more injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Okada doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Omega hasn't really gotten hurt. I mean, he had a meniscus issue
Yeah.
that he recuperated pretty quickly from. There doesn't seem to be as many injuries in New Japan that keeps wrestlers out for prolonged periods of time, as opposed to WWE, where it seems like it doesn't happen all the time, which is surprising considering they wrestle 200 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
Not to account for travel as well.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels like there's more injury issues in WWE because they're wrestling basically every day.
Yeah, and it's not that I think that what you're saying is true. I would believe that. But also we don't know what kind of long-term effect all that wear and tear is going to do. I would just suspect that that the kind of wear and tear on a WWE body would be a lot different than the wear and tear on a New Japan body. However, I do believe that I think at one point Meltzer said that one of the reasons Shinsuke came to WWE is because it'd be easier on his body.
No.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, that could maybe it's something to do with the how stiff.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be
competitors are
contract.
working.
I have no idea
Yeah,
what
who
it is.
knows?
But no, it does seem like when you look at, especially the stat that you threw out there in terms of single matches, Jinder versus Okada, that's a fairly striking stat right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, I would think that's the case. Number 8. Better merchandise.
Oh, this isn't even close.
This is not even close. This is not. You look at the Bullet Club merchandise it's blown up.
It's everywhere. You go to a WWE show, and it seems like at least a third of the audience is wearing some sort of Bullet Club shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. If I get a good-looking piece of New Japan merchandise, I'll wear that regardless where I'm going.
Yeah. For sure.
Whereas most of the WWE shirts I buy, I only wear right here at the show because I get a little self-conscious about wearing them out in public because some of them are not the best-looking garments.
They're really dorky, is what they are. I'm about to illustrate this. Look at it. I'm about to put somebody on blast. And it's crazy to me that WWE doesn't outsource their some of their merchandise. I will give you an example. Look at this Pete Dunne shirt right here.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
It's not a good shirt.
This is terrible. It's really not good. But then at the same time, oh my
phone on the ground.
That thing, it's so slippery.
It is.
At the same time, if you look at some of Pete Dunne's
the stuff that he has on his own.
The stuff that he has on his own, like look at this. I own this shirt here. It's fantastic. Save image. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like right now because I have the miracle of technology at my disposal.
Look at Steve, tech savvy.
Look at that. Look at that shirt.
It's a good looking shirt.
It's a Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews shirt. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Good shirt.
That's absolutely beautiful.
We're getting a little off track there. We're not talking about Pete Dunne's merchandise. We're talking about New Japan's merchandise.
Oh, but then look at that.
Yeah.
Rainmaker.
It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Bullet Club,
all the LIJ
Villain
stuff.
Club, all the LIJ stuff. It's all beautiful.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can wear it out and about. Nobody even has to know what it is. They just know it looks cool.
Yeah.
Look at this wallet I have. Bullet Club.
I think apart from my Balor Club shirt, just because it's really well designed.
Yeah, it's comfy too, huh?
Yeah, it's super comfy. Most of the WWE shirts I own, I just wear to the office and back home.
I wear the Elias shirt out sometimes.
Oh, that's a good shirt.
Because it's a good looking shirt.
Yeah.
But no, New Japan, far and away.
Far and away.
Break. Yeah.
Better merch.
Number 7. More grounded approach. They take a more grounded approach.
Yes.
Why do you have a press conference in
Because that's what we're talking about, more grounded approach. It's
Yeah.
treated more like a sporting event as opposed to a soap opera with wrestling in it.
I love their press conferences.
Yes.
They have their press conference event, sort of like a weigh-in type atmosphere without the weigh-in. And they build stories through that. They build stories through their post-fight press conferences as well.
Yes.
And, you know, like I said, it gives you the feel more of a UFC.
And not only that, they you know, granted, we had Ticking Time Bomb there, and he is a pretty relatively over-the-top character, but by and large, characters in New Japan are just come across as, you know, people.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot. There's a few, but there's not a lot of larger-than-life characters.
I should throw up a picture of Okada wearing his robe.
No, but he's just a dude.
I know.
His gimmick is he's the Rainmaker because he makes tons of money for New Japan.
He makes tons of money. I know. No, what you're saying is absolutely true. It's their characters.
There's no supernatural characters in New Japan.
Right, exactly. As much as Evil would probably like to be, I don't think he is. And like you said, the approach that they take is not over the top. So it's like, even if you have characters who are more flamboyant, like Ticking Time Bomb, you know, he's sitting there at a press conference talking about chicken with Will Ospreay. You know, it's just, he's a weird, quirky guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's not teleporting places.
But he didn't break out of the insane asylum.
Right. There's not
to pursue a wrestling career.
There's not some convoluted backstory that they can retcon, like in Kane's case. Like, how does Kane and his history in the WWE make any sense at all?
Doesn't.
It doesn't make a lick of sense. Is he supposed to be a demon from hell? Is he supposed to be Undertaker's brother who got burned? Is he supposed to be like a guy with HR skills? I don't know what he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Wasn't he a dentist too?
Different guy. Different character anyways.
Same guy.
Different character.
Same guy.
I know what you're talking about. Did they ever do that in New Japan? I have no idea. Same guy, completely different.
Well, they've done, Bone Soldier, different guy, but the same character name.
Yeah, I don't think he's supposed to be portraying the same guy, though.
But it's more like a title as opposed to a particular person.
Like, could Kenny Omega have been supposed to be a different dude? Like Isaac Yankum's a different guy than Kane. I don't know if they've done that before. They might have. I have no idea.
I don't know.
We don't really know. We don't know what we're talking about. Number 6. No backstage leaks. Why is there a picture of Kenny Omega winning this IWGP
so many
title?
Times when it comes to WWE shows, we hear what's going to happen well in advance.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in New Japan.
We had no idea. Nobody knew. We all figured Naito's going to win this thing at Wrestle Kingdom. It didn't have any leaks. We just felt, that's what WWE
He's
do.
the most popular guy in New Japan. Made all the sense in the world.
Wrong. Instead,
Ace wins at Wrestle Kingdom.
They waited till Dominion. I love when you use the word Ace. They waited till Dominion.
Yeah.
And who's going to win? Kenny? Okada? No,
I mean, it's hard.
Kenny can't win.
Can't bet against
Okada.
Can't bet against Okada.
But then that match happened. It was a mind-blowing match, and Kenny won, and it was brilliant.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Yes.
And we had no idea.
No idea.
Because there's no backstage leaks. There's no, Gato decided the morning of that he was going to have this title switch happen. No,
that's probably mapped out months in advance.
He probably has some sort of very well-guarded diary where he puts an address book like Pat Patterson used to have, and he has all of his stuff booked out for the year 2018. I think that's what happens. And even if other people do know it, which I'm sure they do,
they don't talk.
It's a respect for the integrity of the business.
Yes.
That's what it is.
The stories they want to tell.
Exactly. No backstage leaks. It's kind of surprising, too, given how close Meltzer is with some of the New Japan guys. Obviously the Young Bucks come to mind. That he, there's never any, hey, this is what happened.
Yeah.
None of that, man. No way. Number 5. Tournaments.
Yeah, I love tournaments.
You love tournaments.
WWE does not have enough tournaments. New Japan has pretty much the perfect amount of tournaments. You get first tournament of the year, New Japan Cup. Shown there, Zack Sabre Jr. winning that. Got a title shot at Sakura Genesis. Next,
there he is, right
Best of the Super Juniors. Hiromu Takahashi won that. Got a title shot at Dominion. Next, the G1. The most grueling tournament probably in all of wrestling.
Oh, man. The best matches of the year.
Yes.
Most prestige.
And whoever wins that,
yeah,
main events, Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, sure.
And also you got World Tag League in there. Whoever wins that gets a title shot.
That's for tag teams.
Yes, at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean, we were fortunate enough to get a cruiserweight title tournament beginning of this year in WWE, and that's probably the only tournament we're really going to get.
Yeah.
Unless someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not true. The United Kingdom tournament is happening.
Yeah, but we're talking about main
roster.
Yeah.
The Dusty Classic, they brought that back this year, beginning of this year too.
Again, main roster. I see what you say. It's like they do tournaments everywhere else except for
on
main roster.
I know. It's a bummer.
Tournaments are great, man.
They are great.
Yeah.
Like, bring back King of the Ring. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins that gets a shot at SummerSlam. I know they might not want to do it because they think it might lessen the importance of the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. But it's like 6 months afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's a different format. Mm-hmm. Just do it.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that, man. I love tournaments.
Tournaments are great.
New Japan, plenty of tournaments. Number 4. Factions.
Yeah, man.
The big 5 factions in New Japan. We're talking about Bullet Club, Los Ingobernables de Japón, as you're seeing right here. Click off. We also have, Taguchi Japan, I guess, is kind of a faction.
It is.
A little bit
Chaos.
of Chaos, of
Suzuki-gun.
Suzuki-gun, exactly. So, and it works. It really does work. You have, like, built-in stories, basically, already. Sometimes when faction members will face off against other faction members, boom, you got yourself a built-in story. Member of Chaos is going to take on a member of Chaos.
Yeah.
Gang warfare. Member of Chaos going to take on member of Bullet Club. So you don't even need goofy storylines to be
to create intrigue.
Right.
It could just be faction member versus faction member or faction versus faction.
Yeah. I always felt like, so when WWE went faction heavy back during the Attitude Era, I feel like they just overthought things too much. It was always people had to be swerving each other, or they had to inject way too much. You never really hear about, like, Evil seems perfectly happy.
Well, Chaos has been a faction for the last almost 10 years, I think.
Something like that.
With a more or less stable roster.
Yeah.
I mean, Yano and Ishii have been there pretty much from the beginning. Yano was one of the co-founders with Nakamura. Nakamura would probably still be in Chaos if he hadn't gone to WWE.
Ironic, given their name is Chaos.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's very stable, it seems like.
Quite stable. They should really change their name to Stable.
Stability.
Yeah.
But of course, now with this Bullet Club storyline, that storyline can only happen if it's taking place in a large faction.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You see WWE starting to maybe move in the direction of, larger sort of extended tag teams, if you will.
Kind of
factions, not nearly to the degree that you see them in New Japan with the, 8-men factions. But, Undisputed Era has 4 guys. Sanity has, 3 guys, and of course Nikki Cross. And so they might be starting to move towards that, but they function differently than they do in New Japan. In New Japan, you have these factions, and it's kind of one of those things where, if you're not in a faction, with the exception kind of Shibata is kind of the one guy that I sort of see as when he was active. It was like, okay, this guy makes sense that he's not in a faction.
Yeah.
But if you're, otherwise, if like when Switchblade came in, it was like,
it was a huge deal. Yeah. And in him refusing membership to Bullet Club is one of the things that really led to the fracture within Bullet Club.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, the issues had been ongoing, but that was kind of one of the things that created larger cracks in their foundation.
And now, of course, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega proclaims that he is part of the Elite, but not part of Bullet Club.
Golden Elite.
The Golden Elite, not part of Bullet Club. Will that change?
Yeah.
Will Cody have something to say about all that? We don't know, but it's intriguing, and it doesn't need extended lines of dialogue.
No, you don't need 20-minute promos to kick off each show to explain all that stuff.
Exactly. So factions, they handle factions perfectly. I think it'd be fun to see WWE maybe try to, dip their toe back into large NWO type factions.
Agreed.
They did just trademark WWO or NWO again. WWO. Can we get the WWO, please? Number 3. Focus on competition.
See, we pulled this still. Jericho and Omega. What was this feud all about? Who was the best?
Yeah.
That's what the feud was about.
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Kenny Omega won. He's the best. He's champion now. He's best.
It's been proven.
The way that New Japan typically approaches, especially feud for title programs, is literally someone walks in the ring, says, I want that. Yeah. I challenge you to a match. It's all about competition. We get down to
say, I'm better than you.
Yes, even the Cody Kenny Omega thing. it's the competition between
I'm better
these
than
two
you.
guys.
Yeah.
Everything in New Japan, for the most part, there's probably exceptions. By and large, everything in Japan is focused on competition between wrestlers, and it's all settled in the ring.
And when things are good in the WWE, it is because they focus on the competition aspect of things. Not this silly Alexa Bliss, Bayley, this is your life stuff. Not Sami Zayn questioning Bobby Lashley's military service. That's all bogus.
Go to what Carmella is doing in relation to her upcoming match with Asuka. All about competition. Carmella says Charlotte beat Asuka. Carmella's beaten Charlotte twice, therefore Carmella is better than Asuka.
Yeah.
It's all about competition.
And it's actually fairly entertaining. It's good stuff. So, that's one of New Japan's obvious strengths is that, yes, they focus on the competition. I'm better than you. I'm going to prove it. And then they let the stories fall in from that point. So that's good stuff. Number two. New Japan is just cool.
It is cool.
They're just
the
cool.
most buzzed about promotion in the entire
Look at
world.
this picture. You got like guys dressed in cool stuff,
in a boiler room,
pointing with their fingers in a boiler room.
And there's a Hollywood star amongst them.
Yeah,
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell from Hollywood. You've got people wearing vests. Vests are cool.
Yeah.
You got one dude here on the right, Marty Skrull, with a FTRR shirt. What does that RR stand for?
Well, I know what FTR is. That's
Well,
F
I
the
know
Revival.
What is the extra R in there?
I don't remember.
It's not Roman Reigns, is it?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know. But I'm sure that means something.
It's whatever it is.
I'm behind on my being the elite.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, that should have been a thing. Being
Well,
the
that's
elite.
that's part of why New Japan is cool, man.
You know what's cool about New Japan? Being the elite.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is
People
cool.
love that stuff. There's just sort of a buzz about New Japan, be it because they've got merchandise and Hot Topic. Their merchandise looks cool. They just come off. Remember when NWO was like kind of cool?
Yeah.
Like
For those
it's so
matter
funny.
of weeks.
It's so funny because everybody says, "Yeah, man, NWO, they were cool." And you look back at like in practice, it's like, well, they're all wearing fanny packs, and like Hogan's
Their
there.
shirts are all tucked in.
They're all wearing dad jeans.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff's there. He's like the least cool.
He's trying to
person
push
there
his
is.
motorcycle fancy onto everybody.
So like, were they ever actually cool? Kind of.
They were in mid-90s cool.
Yeah, they were 90s cool. Everybody liked dad jeans and fanny packs back then. But that's sort of Bullet Club, right? Look, they got Bullet in the title.
I know.
It's a club of bullets. Are you serious? That's
know.
super cool.
It is pretty cool.
Then you got Naito. I can't even explain why he's cool.
I mean, the same. It's like trying to explain why Finn Balor is cool. It's just he just carries himself with an air of cool.
I guess so. Yeah, but Finn Balor wears a leather jacket, and he's got like shredded bod, and he's got like cool hair.
I don't think. I think
Naito's a mess, but he's so cool.
I know. I think what really makes both of them so cool is just how they carry
Yeah,
themselves.
because who else could wear a John Travolta Saturday Night Fever outfit with a cape and a mask, and it's like it's so cool.
Yeah. And then you got Minoru Suzuki.
Oh man, just old creep, but he's so cool.
cool.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Okada. Cool.
Zack Sabre Jr. looks like Gumby, but he's so cool.
Yeah. Everybody in New Japan is cool.
They're so cool, man. I don't know why. Also, you know what's really cool about New Japan is their video packages.
Yes.
They're like just really well designed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that I've always appreciated, generally speaking, about Japanese culture is their level of graphic design is off the charts.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So yeah, they just have this thing. I mean, even the names of their shows, like listen to like the names of like WWE shows, like Backlash, generic, Battleground,
Generic.
Strong Style Evolved. That sounds neat.
I know.
That sounds really cool. G1 Special in USA. There's something just off about it to make it cool.
I know.
You know?
I know.
So
Dominion. Cool name.
Whoa, Dominion.
King of Pro Wrestling. It's great.
It is great. What's that? What's the Young Lion tournament? Lionsgate?
Project
Lionsgate or something like that?
I thought it was like a Young Lion Cup too.
Oh, I think that's a different thing.
Oh, then yeah, Project Lionsgate.
Like Project Lionsgate? Wow.
Isn't that a movie studio, Lionsgate?
Lionsgate?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but anyways, it's all freaking cool, man.
Oh, I know.
And it's like under the radar. Like people are like, "Oh yeah, you don't really know wrestling until you've seen New Japan." It's like, what's that? All that stuff in Hot Topic, really? The Slayer shirts? No. Over there, Bullet Club.
Oh, that's a neat looking shirt.
It must be cool.
Is a wrestling as neat as shirt?
So as awesome as Chris Jericho was in WWE,
yeah,
with the Alyssa Jericho stuff, right? When he shows up in New Japan with that video that looked like, you know, it was filmed on film, 24 frames, perfectly lit cinematography, and then he shows up and it's like, oh, that's Jericho looking like he's cool all of a sudden, you know? No, it's just neat.
Oh, it is neat. No, it's cool.
It's cool. It's better than neat. It's cool. Number one. Well, it's got the best wrestling in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't even close. WWE, you know, they just snooze their way through matches.
Not all the time. There's generally one pretty good match per pay-per-view or per Raw, but it doesn't.
I mean, you got your Seth Rollins, you got your AJ Styles, but then they have to wrestle guys like Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
You know? And so, while over there in New Japan, it's like, man, you've got the G1. Look at that picture.
That's such a great picture.
It's such a great picture.
The top tier talent in New Japan is probably unrivaled in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we make the case in the other video we put up today that WWE's roster is deeper, because I think it is.
Yeah.
It's because they sign everybody they can.
Yeah.
But, you know, New Japan has two of the, if not the two best wrestlers in the entire world.
Yeah.
You got Okada, you got Kenny Omega. And that's not even mentioning Naito, who's a great wrestler and a great character. You got Zack Sabre Jr., who's probably the best technical wrestler in the entire world right now. You got Minoru Suzuki, who's not only a great professional wrestler, he's got the legitimacy of being a legit badass and a legit fighter.
Well, here's the bigger point, though, because for every name that you mentioned in
Will Ospreay,
in New Japan,
Takahashi, Kushida, Tanahashi.
Okay, so almost every name you mentioned in New Japan, you can counter with names like Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, but here's the thing: if any of those guys went to New Japan, they would be better because they let them do more.
Yeah, there's fewer restrictions.
There are few, and sometimes that gets a bit dicey. Like when you watch Ticking Time Bomb take on Will Ospreay, and you know you're sort of on the edge of your seat because they might hurt each other really, 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 really bad. At the same time, you get the more thrilling matches, even if you take the crazy stuff out.
Yeah.
What they're doing in the ring has fewer, like you said, restrictions. They are more free to create in the ring. They're more free to improvise, seemingly.
Yeah.
They can do more, and therefore they're better matches.
Well,
they are better matches.
You know,
there is one caveat with the WWE, which we will get to in the other video.
Yeah, there's the historical WWE style, which has evolved greatly, but it still seems like, and I can't remember where I read this, that mid-match when they take a break with like a rest hold, it's not necessarily to give either competitor a breather. It's for the crowd to start getting behind the face. And it's like the most obvious and consistent story beat in every WWE match.
Yeah.
Where somewhere in the middle part of the match, the heel will get the face in some sort of headlock or armbar, and the face will sell it, and the crowd will start clapping and cheering or chanting something, and then he'll mount his comeback.
Yeah.
And it's you can see it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
I don't get the feeling that there's something, any story beat in a New Japan match that's that formulaic. So you enter a New Japan match and you don't know what story beats they're going to present to you.
Yeah.
Until for example, the Okada Omega match. Going into the second fall, the way they were booking, I was like, oh man, they're not going to hit their finisher until the final pinfall. That's who's going to win. It's whoever hits their finisher first. Sure enough, as soon as I said that, Omega hit a one-wing angel, pinned Okada to win the second fall. And what did I say after that? I said, Omega's not winning this match.
Yeah.
Because he got his finisher off.
Yeah.
He's not going to win. So that was my expectation. I was expecting Okada to pick up the win with like 4 Rainmakers to end the match. And then when Omega hit that last one-wing angel, I literally said, oh my gosh, is he going to win this?
Yeah.
Is he going to win?
Yeah.
And he did. So they play on your expectations, it feels like, far more than WWE does on the main roster. NXT is different. NXT plays with your expectations too.
Yeah.
But New Japan totally does.
I have no idea if this is the case or not, but there does seem to be a level of attention to detail in the booking of the actual matches that WWE, for the most part, lacks. There are situations in WWE, and they stand out when that isn't the case, when you can tell they're doing something more creative and different. In New Japan, it seems to be the norm not the exception.
Yeah, here's leading up to Dominion, Lariato on Twitter was posting a bunch of GIFs from the previous Okada Omega matches. I don't remember which one it was. But Okada hit a move, and as soon as both Omega and Okada hit the mat, Omega landed on his back and then rolled over to his side away from Okada. Mm-hmm. And Lariato posted, "Oh, I never noticed this before. He rolled away from Okada to avoid wrist control." And then Meltzer responded to that and said, "Yeah, that's just one of several amazing details they add to the match to add dimension to it." It's like even a little thing like that where he's selling a move, there's a purpose behind every movement of his body.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. So it is, I mean, if you can sit there and talk generalities about both styles of wrestling, or about both the wrestling in both companies, but I do believe that, you can sit there and look at New Japan Wrestling and understand that if you really study it, understand there is so much thought that goes into each match, or at least each of the major matches, to a much bigger degree than it is in the WWE. There just seems to be a vision there, and that's sort of wrapped up in the wrestling as well. So yeah. Anyways, those are the top 10 reasons why New Japan is better than WWE. However, be sure, if you haven't already, to check out the other video that went up today, in which we illustrate 10 reasons why WWE is better than New Japan Pro Wrestling. And of course, leave your comments below. And thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.